The world is no stranger to headlines that seem to blur the line between the personal and the public. But every so often, a story comes along that makes people stop and ask, what is really happening behind the scenes? In recent times, the spotlight is turned toward one of the most high-profile figures of our era, Elon Musk. Known for his relentless drive, ambitious visions for space, and the electric revolution on Earth, Elon's life has always been a magnet for curiosity. Yet, amidst the innovation and the headlines, some fans have found themselves more intrigued by his personal life, particularly a relationship that has been quietly unfolding in public view. Some are even urging him to take a step that seems straightforward yet complicated, to just marry her. And the woman at the center of this discussion? Shivon Zilis. This story isn't about gossip. It's about the way public perception, speculation, and personal relationships intersect in the life of one of the world's most scrutinized figures. Today, we're diving deep, exploring the context, the reactions, and what all of this might signify, with careful attention to facts and public information. Elon Musk is a name that needs little introduction. CEO of multiple groundbreaking companies, from Tesla to SpaceX, Neuralink, and beyond, he is often portrayed as a visionary on a global scale. His ambitions have reshaped entire industries and inspired countless individuals worldwide. But with such visibility, every aspect of his life, professional and personal, attracts immense attention. Shivon Zilis, on the other hand, may not be as universally recognized, but within certain circles, she is highly respected. She has a background in technology and venture capitalism, particularly in artificial intelligence, where she has carved out an impressive career. Her work has been associated with high-impact projects, earning her recognition as an influential figure in tech. Unlike some of Elon's other relationships, which were often highly publicized, Shivon's presence in his life remained more private, at least until recent reports brought their connection into the spotlight. So what exactly has sparked public fascination about Elon Musk and Shivon Zilis? Available information suggests that they have shared a personal connection that has led to family developments. Reports indicate that they have children together, which naturally prompted public curiosity about the nature and status of their relationship. Fans, social media commentators, and some media outlets began to speculate if there is a deeper bond, why has there not been a formal acknowledgement in the traditional sense? Why, some wondered, has Elon not taken the step of marriage in this context? And this question became a focal point for online discussions, with phrases like, "just marry her," circulating among communities curious about the dynamics between these two influential figures. It's worth pausing here to reflect on why the public is so invested. When it comes to high-profile figures, there's often a desire to see narrative arcs in their personal lives that mirror stories from fiction, relationships, challenges, reconciliations, and commitments. Fans may project hopes and expectations onto celebrities, imagining what might bring happiness or stability in a life often dominated by professional pressures. Social media has amplified this phenomenon. Posts expressing support for a more formal union between Elon and Shivon gained traction quickly, sometimes framed with lighthearted encouragement, other times with genuine curiosity about what the future might hold. While speculation is never a substitute for verified facts, it does highlight how much the public perceives these personal developments as part of a broader human story, one that intersects with fame, ambition, and the universal search for connection. It's also essential to examine this situation with nuance. Elon Musk has a complex personal history, with previous marriages and public relationships that have shaped how his personal life is understood. In that context, any decision about partnership or marriage cannot be seen in isolation. It exists within a web of personal considerations, public scrutiny, and the logistical challenges that come with being one of the busiest and most high-profile people in the world. Shivon Zilis, while less publicly visible, also operates in highly demanding professional spaces. Balancing career and personal life under public attention is no small task, and some observers suggest that both individuals may prioritize privacy and discretion over public declarations. Public encouragement, even if well-intentioned, doesn't always align with personal priorities or timing. In the modern age, social media is the lens through which most people engage with public figures. It transforms private matters into shared stories, and often the narrative is shaped more by collective enthusiasm than by verified fact. Fans urging someone to take a particular step, in this case marriage, exemplifies this dynamic. Posts circulate, hashtags trend, and a sense of momentum builds. Yet behind these digital waves is a more intricate reality. Decisions about marriage or family are deeply personal and multifaceted, involving emotions, logistics, and timing that outsiders rarely fully understand. While fans may feel a sense of urgency or even moral imperative, the individuals involved are navigating complexities far beyond the screen. And here's where it becomes particularly fascinating. The story isn't just about what's happening, but about how it's interpreted. Each public statement, each shared image, each subtle reference becomes fodder for speculation. Why did this news gain attention now? What does it reveal about the balance between personal freedom and public expectation? Can someone maintain privacy while the world watches so closely? This tension between private decision-making and public curiosity is what makes the story compelling. It raises questions not just about Elon or Shivon, but about the nature of fame itself and the ways that society engages with figures who live their lives in the spotlight. Fans' calls to just marry her reflect more than curiosity. They reveal a broader sentiment about relationships and the human desire for visible commitment. People are drawn to narratives that feel complete, that offer closure or clarity. In high-profile relationships, when information is sparse, imagination fills the gaps. Some fans may view marriage as a symbolic act of certainty, a confirmation of the bond they have come to admire from a distance. Yet it's crucial to recognize that real-life decisions are rarely this simple. Marriage, particularly under public scrutiny, carries emotional, legal, and social implications. It is influenced by personal values, family considerations, and career demands. What may seem like an obvious step to outsiders can be far more complex for those involved. As observers, it's natural to feel invested in stories about figures like Elon Musk and Shivon Zilis. Their lives are unusual in scope, yet human emotions, decisions, and relationships are universally relatable. Approaching these stories with curiosity, tempered by respect, allows for a more thoughtful understanding. It's a reminder that even those who occupy the highest echelons of fame navigate uncertainty, choice, and personal priorities just like anyone else. Public fascination can coexist with empathy. We can ask questions, explore context, and consider possibilities without crossing into assumptions or invasive speculation. This balance is what makes narratives about high-profile individuals engaging, insightful, and reflective, rather than sensationalized. Beyond the immediate curiosity about marriage or relationship status, this story illustrates larger societal dynamics. How do we perceive commitment in the age of visibility? How do professional demands, technological innovation, and public attention influence personal choices? Stories like this invite reflection not only on the individuals involved, but also on cultural attitudes toward family, partnership, and public life. Elon Musk's life is a lens through which broader themes emerge: the intersection of human emotion and technological ambition, the negotiation of private life under relentless scrutiny, and the ongoing conversation between public expectation and personal agency. Shivon Zilis' role in this narrative highlights that these dynamics are never one-sided. They involve mutual decision-making, shared values, and complex interactions that cannot be reduced to a single social media slogan. It's important to draw a clear distinction between speculation and verifiable information, especially in a digital environment where opinions circulate rapidly and narratives can evolve without evidence. Speculation often emerges from curiosity, excitement, or incomplete reporting, and while it may highlight possible scenarios, it does not establish truth on its own. Verifiable information, on the other hand, is grounded in confirmed facts, credible sources, or officially documented statements. When these two categories are blended together without clarification, conversations can become misleading, and audiences may develop incorrect assumptions. In the age of social media, trends, hashtags, public commentary, and fan enthusiasm can influence how stories are perceived. These reactions offer meaningful insight into public sentiment and cultural perception, but they cannot confirm intentions, decisions, or future outcomes. People may interpret small details as evidence or treat rumors as confirmation, even though nothing has been officially verified. This is why context and critical thinking matter. Responsible discussion places emphasis on what is currently known, while clearly acknowledging what remains uncertain. Instead of presenting guesses as facts, it highlights the limits of available information and avoids jumping to conclusions. This approach fosters clarity, reduces misinformation, and maintains integrity in both personal and public discourse. It also allows room for updates as more accurate data becomes available. Ultimately, distinguishing between speculation and verified facts encourages healthier dialogue. It's natural for observers to explore possibilities, consider patterns, and analyze behavior, especially when public figures are involved. Curiosity drives conversation, and audiences enjoy forming theories. Yet it's essential to draw a boundary between considering multiple possibilities and asserting something as truth without concrete evidence. Personal intentions, private reasoning, and emotional dynamics remain unknown unless explicitly communicated by those directly involved. For this reason, responsible interpretation requires caution. Instead of assuming knowledge about private motives or future plans, it's more respectful and accurate to restrict conclusions to what is publicly confirmed. This approach acknowledges the limits of external observation and protects against misinformation or unfair assumptions. By recognizing the distinction between documentation and interpretation, we promote a more balanced, ethical, and grounded understanding of public events, one that values clarity over speculation and respect over intrusion. As we reflect on this situation, a deeper question emerges. Why are we drawn to these stories at all? Perhaps it is because they mirror our own curiosity about human connection, about choice, and about the pursuit of happiness. We watch as others navigate challenges and relationships that feel simultaneously extraordinary and relatable. In following these narratives, we engage in a broader exploration of what it means to balance ambition, public life, and private commitments. The calls from fans to just marry her may come across as lighthearted, playful, or even insistent, but they offer an interesting window into collective psychology. On the surface, these comments appear to be harmless jokes or enthusiastic encouragement from people who feel emotionally invested in the lives of public figures. Yet, on a deeper level, they reflect a shared desire for continuity, stability, and narrative resolution. Audiences often enjoy seeing storylines come full circle, and relationships, especially involving well-known individuals, provide a compelling area for that kind of storytelling. Part of this fascination stems from the fact that public figures exist at the intersection of reality and myth. Fans observe fragments of their personal lives through interviews, social media posts, or news coverage, and from those fragments they construct narratives. When people say, "just marry her," they are expressing not only a romantic ideal, but a wish for a tidy, satisfying conclusion to an ongoing story, one that feels familiar in its simplicity. The sentiment resembles the plots we see in films, novels, or celebrity culture, where partnership represents a culmination rather than a complex, evolving decision. In that sense, the story is not just about Elon or Shivon as individuals or as subjects of media attention. It is equally about the viewers themselves, about our collective fascination with love, partnership, family, and commitment. Humans are naturally drawn to stories of connection because they mirror our own lives and desires. We like to believe that behind extraordinary achievements and public personas, there exists a relatable human experience filled with affection, belonging, and vulnerability. Ultimately, the interest surrounding such relationships says more about the observers than the subjects. It highlights how personal lives intersect with public perception and how audiences use these narratives to explore their own values and emotional curiosity. In the end, what truly stands out is the delicate balance between personal choice and public curiosity. Public figures like Elon Musk and Shivon Zilis exist in a world where the boundary between private life and public attention is constantly shifting. Because of their visibility and influence, every movement, collaboration, or family development becomes part of a broader conversation that unfolds across headlines, social media platforms, and online communities. In such an environment, even the smallest gesture can be interpreted as symbolic, intentional, or revealing. Fans and observers often look for clarity, clear labels, definitive answers, or public acknowledgments that confirm the narratives they have formed. Some may feel invested in the unfolding story, hoping for confirmation of friendship, partnership, or family unity. These desires are not just about curiosity, they reflect a broader human impulse to make sense of relationships and to see coherence in the personal lives of those we admire. When someone occupies a position of global influence and constant visibility, their relationships become a mirror through which people explore themes of loyalty, love, and connection. Yet the reality behind private decisions is far more complex than speculation or public expectation can capture. Choices about family, partnership, and personal identity involve layers of emotion, responsibility, values, and long-term considerations that outsiders can never fully access. No matter how much attention surrounds them, such decisions remain deeply human and deeply personal. They are shaped by internal dynamics rather than by the noise of public commentary. This tension between what audiences want to know and what individuals choose to share defines much of modern celebrity culture. It raises important questions about privacy, autonomy, and respect. And while curiosity is natural, recognizing the limits of our knowledge fosters a more balanced and empathetic understanding of the people at the center of these conversations. This story reminds us that behind headlines and social media trends are real people making deeply personal choices. Observing with empathy, curiosity, and respect allows us to engage with their narrative meaningfully without imposing assumptions or judgment. Whether or not marriage ever enters the picture, the journey itself of connection, collaboration, and human experience is compelling and worthy of reflection. If you found this story fascinating, there's so much more to explore in the lives of people who shape our world and the ways their personal choices resonate beyond the headlines. Like this video to show support, subscribe to the channel for more in-depth explorations of stories that capture curiosity and imagination, and share your thoughts in the comments. How do you perceive the balance between public life and private decisions? We would love to hear your perspective. Because in the end, every story like this is not just about the individuals at its center, but about the human desire to understand, connect, and reflect on the choices that shape our lives.